Welcome back. This is Occupier Kaylin. Again,
we'll
coming
probably get
to
started in like 7 or 8 minutes, so if folks need to go to the bathroom or whatever, try to give people some time to get here. There's always those people that, don't show up on time, so that's okay. I'm usually one of those people. So.
Sorry about that. I'm poisoning my tablet so I can shoot a picture. Again, this is Occupier Kaylin coming to you live from another room in this Olmsted Center on the Drake University campus. Here with Lakota youth and their allies, talking about their struggles to preserve their land. So there will be a bit of a delay. People are coming in here from the other event that I just finished live streaming. And the lights are half off in here because the screen will be used to show images and video clips. As I said, downstairs, or in the other room, if you notice anything weird with my stream, if you cannot hear or if it sounds like it's looping on itself or coming out of a blender, please give me a yell in the chat, and what I would do is stop it and restart it, and that should take care of the problem. But I did not see any problems, and I did not see any notice of problems, but when I tried to type a response to a comment, I was unable to send. So I don't know if it's just the signal that's in here. It's not as great as it could be, but hopefully it'll be better in this room, although get the focus back. But I will check the chat. But again, excuse me, if I'm not able to type a response, then I will say it quietly. Oh, I can see something. Yeah, it's coming up now. So what is on the screen might not be quite as visible as would like. I am on the darker side of the room, which is better. I'm gonna just checking something for shooting another picture. I'll back them later and try to shoot when I was just doing a little bit of a check.
Well, it's a brisk walk home. I grew up in Minnesota. I walked over, yeah, I have to go to the get me some dinner. No, we got dinner for everybody. His daddy had conferences. So I just picked him up. 2 bites of tortilla. Yes, you're allowed to eat beer. She's not. Oh, she wants to eat.
Only if the item is edible. Said only if the item is edible.
Oh, okay. Hey, Peter.
Yeah, I cracked the occasional one-liner. I think I'm going to take a few steps back and snap a picture of these guys.
Did you get my email about my student who wants your help? Yeah. It's a huge, huge deal. But they need a good writer. And I said I may have someone for you.
I'm going to back up a bit.
Cole, thanks. Cole.
I follow the Bakken stuff, and if there are ever any actions here in Des Moines, I would love to know about it. And if there are any out-of-town ones, I would have to bum a ride, but I would definitely love to go live stream a few bits of activist fun.
Ed Fallon is having meetings all along.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not able to join him. I just don't have the funds to do it.
I told we started at 8:10.
But it would have been something cool to stream every day along that. But I did stream the Great March for Climate Action when they're here in Des Moines, and walked from Rich Hole Cafe to the Capitol, and then had a big old rally there. So that was a freaking awesome thing. TPP, TTIP, TPPA, that kind of stuff. Yeah. That still has to get stopped like yesterday. That's why Occupy the World Food Prize has been going on. We've done it 3 years. Yeah, I love ripping on Monsanto and the other GMO players. But I'll save that for another day. The Ag Summit.
Trying to figure out, what the truth is and the volatility is.
So good evening, and thank you all for coming. My name is T.R. McKenzie. I am a Chicano warrior and land defender from occupied Lakota territories, which you folks may know as South Dakota. Okay, we're here tonight with some Lakota folks and myself talking about resistance to the Keystone XL pipeline. To stop that project, which was recently vetoed by President Obama. There'll be some poetry, there'll be some some moderated questions for these young Lakota people that I've come up with, and then there'll be some Q&A from the crowd, and then we can just kind of have some informal mingling after that if you want to get to know these folks a little bit better. We're going to start off with a video, and this just a premise of this video is that TransCanada came onto the Shan River Reservation, which is northeast of Pine Ridge, and they offered the members of Shan River Tempur-Pedic beds if they would allow TransCanada to come through the treaty territory.
What a load of crap.
And the women in the community got together, mostly women in the community got together, and this was their response.
Turn my flash off so that...
I don't want your Tempur-Pedic beds, and I'm going to tell Shan River and their council you're trying to bribe us with Tempur-Pedic beds, and with your little elections. I'm not going to, you guys are putting some generator or something. Your money, we can't drink none of it, and we can't drink your oil. Well, stop it. And we're reclaiming our land, too.
If you have any questions, please get them ready. And when the QA starts, post it into the chat and I'll read it.
We are here. We are still here. We will always be here. And we don't want you here. They get our traditionals to stand up here for stage and to pray. For those who are doing that, it's a shameful act. Shameful to offer our beautiful prayers for a rapist, money, fat takers. TransCanada put up a website against us, calling us environmental jihadists, calling us terrorists, setting the stage for what you think you're going to do. But President Obama will not sign that. And if he does sign
did
it,
not.
there's still no guarantee it's going to get built. The tribal members who are here at the beck and call of this Mother Earth rapist, shame on you. We're getting in bed with them. You think you can flirt with the corporation and not go to bed with them? You think you can do that? You can't flirt with them and walk away. You're already compromised. We know your names. We've seen you, what you did here tonight, selling us out for money. That's shameful. Corporations work this way to divide communities, to divide neighborhoods, to divide bands, to divide tribes. But there's going to only be a little bit few sell-offs that walk with you. Little bit few sell-offs following you around, sniffing your money. And the rest of us know who they are. And the rest of us are going to be strong together for when she got caught on our water. We don't want your money. We don't want you here. We've got somebody to invite you here. Corporations do that. They prey on our hospitality. They prey on our generosity. They prey on our good fellowship to all human beings. And you use our people against us. And that's a sad day when that happens. Very sad day. And you're here representing TransCanada, Keystone XL pipeline that we have vowed to stop. It's not going to happen. So you're going to have to run home and tell your corporate headquarters in Canada the Lakotas are going to make a stand. And we're going to have to run over them or throw them in jail to build this pipeline. That's the message you have to take home. Maybe 1 or 2 people invited you here. But that's only 1 or 2 people. I'm Oglala. I'm not from this part here, but this is our treaty territory, all of our treaty territory. But your corporation wants to cross thousands of creeks, lakes, streams, our Oglala aquifer. The Oglalas, the Treaty Council, and the elected government passed legislation calling on every single one of us to stand up and oppose you, to put our bodies in front of you, to oppose you. So we came here because we have blood relatives here, we have Hunka relatives here. And they don't want you here, and we don't want you here. So I think you need to leave. I think everybody with TransCanada needs to leave our land. There's a lot of us here as arrestables. We're ready to go to jail to get you out of here. But you can stand up and you can leave. You can stand up and you can leave on your own, or you can be escorted out. Now.
That's powerful.
So that's how you throw somebody out of your community. It's actually pretty simple. So tonight, I want to mention too, tonight is also a fundraiser. The group of us here, this delegation, is heading to so-called Pennsylvania, Haudenosaunee territory, to show solidarity with anti-fracking activists at an action camp.
Cool.
So we'll be heading towards Pennsylvania tomorrow. So we'll be asking, passing the hat a little bit later. And we'll show another video here at the end. I'm going to turn it over to Justin and let him introduce himself, and he's going to open us up with the poem that he wrote.
I just introduced myself in our Lakota language. I said, hello, my name is Birdman. I come from the Fire Lightning Teoshpaya, and we live on Wounded Knee Creek. So the way I've been raised my whole life is water is life. Without it, nothing could live. And our grandmas and grandpas fought it when they were our age. They were teenagers too, and they first started fighting. And they were fighting uranium mines back in the 70s. And they stopped it, but it's starting again. So we're ready to fight them again. We've been fighting the pipelines, and I just got a poem for you out here. The Black Hills is the heart of Turtle Island. The Lakotas are the strong heart society, and with our moccasins on the ground, we will march across the great grandmother Turtle Island. We are in a spiritual war. Water is life. The battle plans from the Oglala Nation. Eagle people stand ready. The 13 colony snake of unity turned into 13 different snakes of death. To the 1% controlling the world's economy, I'm the 1% indigenous to America. A straight-up survivor of the fat-stealing invasion, massacres, annihilation of my people. But you can't kill us off so easily. We got the natural powers of Mother Earth's strength. Heart of the world, we were birthed through natural laws. But if it wasn't for the help, I wouldn't be afraid of this world. The silent nations are losing the war. All the dangers set out to take out my indigenous blood through paper genocide and blood court of lies, but if it wasn't for the help, the grandfathers and grandmothers in the sky look out for our best interests, setting awe to a revolutionary motion. Thunder beings ready for the war ahead, burn the beast in its own filth, set it to a blaze before it covers the rest of the world. This spring, this fall, they're going to burn. Pacific is dead, sacred mountains are shaken, the Tanka Oyate are running bloodline. Warriors of the great Sioux warriors in the spirit world at war again with these beasts, said from ancient passed down knowledge will slither across our island till everything in its path, then into the clean waters east. Our blue gold versus the black gold, we choose life. Spirit warriors throwing spears like the large snakes, just a few inches could oil spilled by the thousands of gallons of Mother Earth's blood. Covers the land in black, keep it where it belongs, under skin. Fracking and mining, our names attacking the Oglala Aquifer. Watch the thunder beings throw some fire lining on the snakes. We're natural enemies from the beginning. While the beast is down, we go for the kill on the ground. Hold strong, don't let go. 9 generations on a POW camps this far. The last judgment is pretty crater. Generations now we were told by the spirits a final war will end in peace and we will get our lands back to the indigenous meek. I am a 9th generation prisoner of war in the heart of America. It's called the breadbasket of the world. My treaty lands are sacrificed for the Cold War and nuclear power plants. 90% of my people are exterminated. Disease spread as wildfires. 1,000 wars and rapes and starvation nations and concentration camps. New pork, new wheat, new grease, and new cows killed thousands of indigenous sacred beings. So-called gods, missionaries abused and raped 99% of Indian children forced to boarding schools. 40% of those Indian girls never gave birth because of forced sterilization killed thousands of unborn lives. We survived the era of termination and the reign of terror. The white man outlawed our native cultures 100 years ago. First Nations are wiped out. Fuck historical trauma. We survived genocide. Every day is a struggle being Indian. We Lakotas live in unconquered ruins with our grandmas holding their fists closest to their hearts to the Star Nations, and with the other hand, they hold the future 7 generations. Time to repay a favor for all those who lost their lives in the invasion, for all those tricked with the white devil deals, and for all those red Indian savage heathens that never faced due trial. Their voices heard in American society. This is for you. I love you. The wealth of Americas belong to Indian nations who survived all and every act of genocide committed in the names of God's presidents in Americas. I say this, we can learn from the past, we can reach into the future. From the heart, we aim for the future 7 generations. Mother Black Hills woman, hear your son's voice. Together we can bring back the way of the Ojete Shakoi.
So how many of you think the climate march in Washington stopped the Keystone XL pipeline or got Obama to veto it? How many people think that?
Washington, New York.
Yeah, in Washington, New York. Do you think those climate marches had anything to do with him vetoing it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. What if I told you the real reason that Obama vetoed this pipeline is that there would be an indigenous uprising not seen since 1973 at Wounded Knee, and that communities like folks here in Pine Ridge and these young people here, we've been organizing for 5 years to stop this black snake. We've organized communities to use nonviolent direct action and other tactics. And this is a story that wasn't told on MSNBC and CNN and other places. So you're some of the privileged few that are going to hear the story of the communities that will actually be affected by this pipeline. So that's why we're here tonight. Right. And also, I don't know if folks, this did make news, but the president of Rosebud, the Rosebud Reservation also declared war on the pipeline. And that pretty much went for almost every Lakota person in so-called South Dakota, and we even heard grandmothers say that they would send all their grandchildren to fight this black snake, no matter what. So again, thank you all for coming. We're just going to kind of go down the line now, and I want everyone to just introduce themselves, and then we'll get into some questions.
Hi everybody. My name is Leo Cordier. I guess that's my colonized name. My Lakota name is Wawokia Oyate Wichasha. My family's from Rosebud Reservation, and Wawokia Oyate Wichasha means a man who provides for the people. And I'm a member of the Tokala Society. All of us are here, and we've dedicated our lives, give up our lives for the protection of our children and our next generations, and the health and well-being. We involve ourselves in the fights for the water against this pipeline, and we're very excited for the opportunities to travel east and make more alliances, because we are aware that there is going to be tar sands mining more east of here near Pennsylvania. So we're kind of expanding our campaign and creating those I guess the next room is cool. It's talking about coalitions. So, yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Louise Gilsbeck, and I'm from Pioneer Reservation, sorry. And I'm
Hi, my colonized Indian name is Bradley Rowland. My Lakota name is Shunka Mokan Luta, that is red horse in our language. I'm aware that this black snake is coming to our territory, and we're here to stand up and fight against it.
Hello, Yakamaza Makjape, and my name is Iron Elk, and my colonized name is Mark Rowland, and I'm 17 years old, and I'm fighting against the KXL pipeline for the future generations, because the water, without water, there could be no life. Yeah, so, thank you.
So we have some prepared questions that I'm going to moderate, and then we'll turn it over for some Q&A from all of you else. So,
could you reintroduce yourself, because I didn't hear you?
yeah, sure. I'm J.R. McKenzie. I'm a Chicano warrior and land defender from occupied Lakota territory, so-called South Dakota. Okay, Justin, could you tell everyone what the significance of water is in your culture?
Well, first of all, water, in our language, water don't even mean water. It's Minewa Chojani. It means the first medicine. When you first wake up, what do you want? Something to drink. Water. You want to wash up. Children too. First when they start putting something is water. Water is a medicine. You can look at it as a medicine instead of just this plain thing. You'll see the way we see this world. It's water. It's what keeps us all going. And in our culture, the way we believe is our spirits come from the stars. When they fall to earth, and they fall into the Ojete Shatoi, 7 counts of fires inside the mother's womb. And inside the mother's womb, that baby, that spirit, it takes physical form inside water, and it becomes a baby. It's inside the first medicine. So you can see how sacred this water is to us.
Leo, can you tell everyone what Lakota people are doing to organize against the Keystone XL pipeline?
What we've been doing and are currently doing is, like I mentioned earlier, building those relationships. We have alliances with a lot of the Chicano movement oriented people who fight against immigration right now, or recently. I'm not sure currently what they've been doing. Alliances with Canada. There are Canadian Indigenous who are really dedicated to training us all to really fight this threat against our homeland. Recently, at our Liberation Day gathering, it's an annual celebration of the occupation of Wounded Knee in '73, when we were under siege by the federal government and the FBI in '73. So we've been celebrating that for, I think, 43 years now. 42. And we had an honored guest come, and it was Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. of the Black Panthers People of Color Caucus. And that was a really great honor, and we're going to further work on our alliances with People of Color Caucus, or people of color, primarily. Across the states, and so far we've been having a lot of delegations come from different groups, movements, areas, people who are experienced in fighting a lot of protests, like up in Oregon against the trees, We have a lot of medic training. A good alliance that we have is a veteran in a lot of protests, like the Chicago Black Bloc event thing that happened down there. I think it was IMF. He's a really skilled medic, and he teaches us a lot of medicine, medical practices, and everything. And what we're starting to do now is just these delegations, so we can actually, talk to everyone who are really concerned about these situations, who are working on these situations, so we could share experiences and learn new tactics of how we can combat this. And pretty much everyone who we've had made alliances with are ready to give up their lives, against this pipeline and pretty much every other professional force here on this planet. But yeah, we're ready to give up and defend our lives. And so right now we're just working on just meeting people and networking, gaining that a strong interconnected network.
So one of the things that I've learned since working out in Pine Ridge for 5 years is that we really have to look at things a little differently. I used to call myself an environmentalist and an activist, and now I don't refer to myself in those terms. I refer to myself as a warrior or a land defender, and how we look at those terms and what we would actually do for the land and what we would do for our people if we start using terms like that. So I want to turn it over to Mark, and I want Mark to explain what it means to be a warrior, a land defender for his people and for his land.
Being a warrior and standing up for the land is a big responsibility, and for me and my other brothers, because there's a Tokala society, and we're all a part of it, and we all stand up for the land and the water. And we just go hunting, because whenever the stores, like the food, everything's all gone from the shelves. Where are you gonna go? Go like get a cow or something. But us guys, we go like get a deer and go hunting to survive off the land, like the wild turnips, and we got those growing on our land out there. So we survive on wild turnips and deer meat and antelope. Whatever we kill, we eat. That's our rule with the Lakota warrior. And yeah, we just stand up against the Keystone XL pipeline and fight against the tar sands and everything. And we go to trainings in Canada. We train. Got a couple of brothers up there that train us against everything, just like hand-to-hand combat and knife fighting and everything. They train us all that. And yeah, we just go for that training. Like it's a good 3 months. We go up there, train, and then we come back down and teach the other ones, other like younger generation, because you can't teach a man where you could teach a child. So yeah, it's the warriors do. We just stand up for the people and stay strong and fight for the water, because the water is the main thing what we need. And that's what I gotta say for the warrior. Thank you.
So maybe a little bit different perspective. Louisa, you want to talk about what it means to be a mother and in relationship to standing up and fighting for the land and for your children?
I don't.
Let me come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of these folks, this is like the first time speaking in public, so.
That's okay.
Okay, so, all right. So there's other issues going on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation that we focus on, and one of the issues is alcoholism and other drug use. We actively go after meth dealers. We actively go after bootleggers. Pine Ridge Reservation is a dry reservation. You can't consume or be in possession of alcohol or any other drugs.
Good.
And I want, Brad, if you could explain kind of like what White Clay, Nebraska is and what we're doing to stop alcoholism on your reservation.
White Clay is a town not far from Pine Ridge Reservation. Most people heard about it, but alcohol is alcohol is the worst thing lot of families, they use it, and they get like emotional and suicidal, and we had like recently we had a lot of deaths with young children. And meth, we are fighting against it in our own communities, and it's destroying a lot of our young youth and our people, basically. And alcohol is a really bad thing on the Pine Ridge Reservation. There's
You guys want to have them up? Justin, expand.
White Clay, it's a border town on our reservation. We have, I think, 5 of them around our reservation that all have, there's just a bunch of little white towns around our reservation that have bars, and we sell a lot of alcohol to our people, cheap alcohol, which ends up killing them. And our people won't stop drinking it because they're addicted to it. So we have to go and demonstrate against those bars, and we leave little murals, or you guys can call it graffiti, but we leave it there so the people who go to buy from them will see it, see that there is someone out there who's fighting this. And the same thing with the meth dealers. My 2 cousins here, they got into a fight with some meth dealers, and well, the meth dealers, we heard some things about them. When they go to court, they like to show up in big groups and intimidating whoever's taking them to court. And so we thought we'll do the same thing to them. We would have a death to meth rally. And we had it right in front of our whole, right between our tribal council, our tribal building, and our courthouse. And when we stood up there for like an hour and a half, just swinging around signs, yelling out as loud as we could. It was freezing, but we did it.
Great. Awesome.
Well, those meth dealers never showed their faces. We wanted to make sure that our people knew there is someone to do something about the meth, because we did trace it. It was chased. Meth dealers, they get chased from one community to the next community. And so we had to chase them around to find out where they're going. So, yeah, we got rid of the, one of the meth dealers in our district.
Also, what we have been doing with White Clay is we've set up a zero tolerance camp right at the state line. And how long was that campaign, Terry? About 6 months. Yeah, 6 months campaign. And we camped out there. A lot of us from Pine Ridge is a very big reservation, but we all managed to, stay there at the camp, and switch shifts on everything. And I always remember that when we were there, we heard this woman screaming, and a man was assaulting her, and we sexually assaulting her. And we ran into town and everything to assess the situation. But we stopped him. And I think it's really good. I think it's really good that we were there, actually, providing us security right there at the perimeter. And we did a lot of very, very frequent checkpoints to stop the alcohol from coming onto our reservations. We were doing personal searches and seizures. And it's a very interesting that the dual citizenship or the sovereignty that we hold among our people and culture, and part of that is common law, to be able to protect our own. We're not afraid to get into it, the police. There's a time when several times police officers tried to apprehend any of us, and force is greater in numbers, and we ended up kind of apprehending him. And things can get physical, but I guess the primary thing that in all of us is just to protect our people. We have to do whatever we can to protect our people. So.
So I'm going to go back to I'm going to ask Louise again what it means to be a mother and on Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and what that means when it comes to standing up for the land and standing up for her children against the Keystone XL pipeline.
I have a son. He's going to be 5 this year. He's living with his dad right now, but I'll be getting him back in about a month, maybe. On the res, we don't have a lot of good food. We get mods and junk food and sugar, really fatty foods. My son doesn't like any of them. I mean, I raise him differently, away from sugar and soda.
Okay.
She is a little shy. This is her first time.
So just got a couple more questions left, and then we'll turn it over to you all. So a lot of things you might have heard about the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. I know I did 4 or 5 years ago when I started working out there. We see a lot of what we call poverty porn. When we think of like reservations, and it's true. Like youth suicide is 7 times the national average on Pine Ridge. Life expectancy for men is 48. It's 52 for women. So like there's definitely some things that need to be addressed as soon as possible. But I really want, and we'll open this up to anyone here on the panel, like I want you to like let folks know like some of the positive things that are going on the reservation right now.
My community, actually, I don't like to say my community, but I like to say my family. That's who I mostly go see, just my family and my blood relatives. And well, they all grow gardens. That's something we've always done. That's something they can remember their dads and moms doing back in the 1800s. We had to pick up the garden. So gardening, that's something we always enjoy every year. So we finally got full immersions for our language. So our language is being brought back to us through the children, the younger ages. Like they're just now turning 7 or 8. What I keep hearing is their parents can't understand them, but the children can understand the elders. The elders can understand the children. So that's the main contact we need. So it's happening. We're bringing back our language.
We have a bank on our reservation, and a banking, administration office right above it called Lakota Funds, and the Lakota Federal Credit Union, and they're actually giving people on the reservation, indigenous people living on the reservation, the opportunity to become business owners. They're really developing the economic stability on the reservation, kind of grassroots, from the people, for the people. And they give out business loans. And we're, one thing that, within our immediate circle, that we want to be about is growing food. It's all about growing food and hunting food. And we keep that really strong in our culture. And so we're going to be taking a micro loan out to grow mushrooms and to develop a business relationship with Rapid City, which is kind of known to be really racist. But if we could really develop a strong economic relationship, imports and exports, if we can export resources. So this is at a local level, but they actually give the opportunity to anybody really who wants to start a business, because the unemployment rate where we live is probably around 85, 86, 87%. And so it's very hard to find a job. And that also leads to a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, a lot of health issues, lack of nutrition. So we have the opportunity to start developing business. I believe that's it.
Anybody else? You said basketball court yesterday.
Well, in our community, they built a new basketball court. I like to play basketball, so it's pretty good.
Good for the youth.
Yeah, it's good for the youth. They got a court out there. Don't have to play outside.
Yeah, it's a whole indoor court, basketball court with concessions, something we could basically hold powwows in. That's what I see the building was for.
The last question, and I'll open it up to everyone too, is what future do you envision in the next 5, 10, 50 years for your people? What would you like to see?
I like to see our people hold their solidarity intact, to not just hold it, but to exercise it and make it work. However, whatever we were told we were supposed to do, we know how to do it. But then when we do it, it's the people who don't understand our ways, which is, we're born in a patriarchal society. On the outside world, American way, it's paternal, patriarchy, male side of everything. Well, when our society mixes with the American society, they clash a lot, everything. And it's tough. And so I would like to see, at least in 50 years, is that, or as quick as possible, is an embassy for our North American indigenous people, the First Nations of this continent. And especially for us in South Dakota, because we are a confederacy of nations. There's the Lakotas, Dakotas, Nakotas, and there's 30 other tribes we adopted all the way around us. And they're not all on the plains. They stretch from the East Coast to North Coast to Canada to Mexico. 30 other tribes. And we already had everything here. We already had trade routes, we had everything already. We knew it as a whole continent, we knew it as an island. We knew there were others out there in the world. Yeah, I like to see an embassy.
I'd like to see us to be free and left alone, primarily. And just as Justin shared earlier about the immersion school, our children learning Lakota language, you know, what he expressed last night too is we don't have that opportunity. We have to relearn it. So these children are learning it as they're growing. The early development stages, they're learning their language, and it's a very beautiful thing. And when you speak our language, we describe like a lot of its descriptions, you know, and it's like English is so blunt. English it's so blunt, but our Lakota language, any language, actually, it carries a way you see the world, the perception of everything, you know, a reality. We want to get back to our reality, and you know, it'd be very beautiful to have that, because our languages are rapidly losing our language and the way we see the world to assimilation and the social construct that really exploits a lot of our just our existence here in this world. yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to see all the tar sands and the drilling and oil and all that just stop. By envision.
So, before we get to Q&A from y'all, we want to show one more video, and just to educate folks a little bit, how many people know that there's tar sands mining going on in the United States? In Alabama and Utah, other places. So, we've also went the last 2 summers and showed solidarity in Ute territory, in the Book Cliffs, kind of northwest of Grand Junction, Colorado is where it's located. It's a 2-acre test mine right now. 21 young people this year went to jail over that mine this summer in a nonviolent direct action that most of us here were a part of. We're going to show a video actually from the first year that this happened, and they're looking for more folks to come out and help with that campaign. So definitely check out Utah Tar Sands Resistance, Peaceful Uprising, which was started by Cindy Christopher, and Canyon Country Rising Tiger, the 3 groups who are focusing on that campaign.
While this video plays, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I will read it aloud.
That you cannot even passively participate. You've got to place your bodies on the gears, the wheels, all the mechanism, and you've got to indicate to those who own it and those who run it that unless you are free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
From that day, that one day's action, we dropped the U.S. oil sands stock price 13% one day.
Killer.
So, and they're totally losing their asses right now.
with gas so low. So we're definitely going to hit them really hard this summer. Before we go into questions, Connor, can we pass a hat or something to get us to help get us to Pennsylvania, folks? We appreciate any support you can give us.
Well, a box will do.
Yep. And we also Louisa and Leo here. They do beadwork, earrings and bracelets up here too, and rings after questions if y'all are interested in that as well. So we'll open it up to whoever may have a question for folks.
I just had a question in the video. There said the thing that you put your arms in, or that goes in. I was just wondering what that was.
Those are called lock boxes. I don't know, is there any cops in here? I can tell you how to make them.
No, the cops are out in the middle area.
Just get online. They're called lock boxes. We'll show you how to do it.
There's so many different types. I've seen it in other videos of different activists have done this. They use PVC pipe. They use duct tape. They use chain. You know, just all kinds of materials to make it.
They're great. Very effective.
She's writing a check. What do you want her to make the check to? Well, just.
Is
anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question that's going to reveal how ignorant I am as I was just walking by and decided to come in. Can you explain the implication of this TransCanada oil on the water? Since you made
the Kexel pipeline, it runs over the Ogallala Aquifer, which it covers pretty much the heart of America. It's a very large aquifer, and the whole middle part of America actually sits over this. And so, I mean, time and time again, history has repeated itself. You know, pipes will break, welds will always bust.
Mayflower, Arkansas.
Yeah. And that will affect our groundwater, and we really want to really emphasize how we've kind of acculturated the culture of growing food and trying to be biodynamic as well, I guess. But you know, I mean, that water really threatens our drinking water and the food that we grow. There's also a lot of cattle that eats the grass coming from the earth, and a lot of buffalo, and which we distribute within our communities. And so pretty much the systems of the corporation, they want us to become dependent on commodity foods, federally appropriated foods, and junk food at our convenience stores, and not have us really, eat for ourselves. And so this water is poisoning our water. And this really affects a lot of birth defects and everything whatnot. We've already suffered a lot of consequences from uranium mines.
I'll put that in the box, please.
Yeah, one thing people don't realize too is that like the groundwater where the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is already contaminated from uranium mining, gold mining, and other things that happen west of the reservation and in the Black Hills. And actually, the tap water actually comes from the Missouri River. It's actually piped from the Missouri River to the east. And the reason why the Keystone XL pipeline is so bad is that pipeline will cross these other water pipelines like 40 times. And so that's why it's so bad.
My name's Robert Knut. My Indian name is Woki Chewichacha, a man who helps the Red Spider. I recently helped put down an oil refinery in South Dakota in Elk Point. And the answer to your question is that I had paperwork for the Ogallala water fur in my hands. And what I was told was when that refinery was going to go in, they needed that water. Because refineries need water to generate all that, process it. So what they do is basically suck out all the water in the aquifer, run it through the machines to cleanse the oil, and then all that backwash, all that dirty backwash gets pumped back down in that thing, and then they cap it. So it's polluted. And this is what these refineries are doing. They're finding big water sources and pumping them out. And then refining their oil and then shoving all that dirty oil water back in the ground and then capping it off. And then it just sits there and poisons the land. So that's part of the reason. But my question to you is, I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really honored that you come down here to Des Moines, Iowa. You know, I've been fighting these things off and on for a couple of years by myself. And I want to sing you a song. We chose Aniwa Maya Kuelo Pila Maya Pila Maya Elohe. I want to offer up a pipe for you tonight. And when I get home, I'm going to load that chanupa for the next 4 days for you guys. And I want to say thank you to your families. Thank you for your generation, and hope that this great spirit will keep you going, because we need people like you.
Hello. I have many questions, and also want to offer my compassion to what you guys are doing. I've spent my youth at the Big Mountain Joint Use Area many years ago, Peabody Oil and the people that were going for the uranium mines. I herded sheep for your people, and it was an honor. I know Leonard Peltier and the movement. Your people have restored my spirituality. I grew up here. I was raised Catholic. Somehow I ended up on the reservation, and I was out there herding sheep by myself, but your people saved my spirituality, and I feel always endeavored to your people. And I want to thank you for granting us amnesty in this nation. It is a very humbling thing, and I hope that our people will pay it forward. Also, I am an ancestor of South Dakota. My mother was born in South Dakota. I spent every summer of my youth in South Dakota, and Leonard Crow Dog was a personal friend of my family from the Pine Ridge, and then also Rosebud Reservation. I'm very honored to be here and support your journey. I'm very burdened, even though I'm older. I'm not going to have the experience you have to deal with. I've had beautiful South Dakota experiences. I lived in South Dakota through the winter, going to a one-room schoolhouse. My grandfather was the dairy provider of Native Americans at the in South Dakota. I think it was near Pierre, South Dakota, and he was the dairy farmer there and provided all the dairy to the reservation people. And our family has a history with you, the Dutch and the Native Americans. So I have a different perspective, and yet my heart feels very much in tune with what you guys are doing. And so what I want to do is ask you, what is your relationship with North Dakota and all the things that are happening there too, because they're just north of you, and all of these pipelines that are coming through South Dakota, and now we have a pipeline coming through Iowa.
No.
No, not
No.
yet.
We will stop
No,
it.
thank you. Proposal. Thank you.
There's a
Many of us
proposal.
here tonight are working to stop it.
Yeah.
This is my brother from the Great March for Climate Action and my sister. We were all part of the Great March for Climate Action that just walked across the United States. They did. I helped them. But we walked from LA to DC, and we were hosted by the Native Americans all the way. And it was a great honor. And I know this is pushing it, so my first question is, what is the relationship with North Dakota that you're building with your people? And from the mother here, I know it's hard, and I respect your position, but what is your vision for the future? And for what do you and your children need? If you could express that.
Is that a question for all of us?
Well,
Well, the North Dakota question is probably for everyone, and
North
it
Dakota
was,
for everyone.
there was a specific question. So.
Clean food and clean water, mostly. Kind of don't need much, really. I mean, for me and my son, I taught him to like the little things, to just explore. But yeah.
We're very shy people.
And
But I am more shy than anybody.
the pipeline she's referring to is a proposed Bakken pipeline from North Dakota to Illinois that would go through, what, is it 18 or 19 counties in Iowa?
Yeah, it's 18.
18 counties in Iowa. So I was wondering like, if we have a relationship with folks.
We've been building a relationship with the Cheyenne River Eagle Butte Reservation. I'm not too sure about North Dakota at all. With
That's what I've been working. Yeah, we got a group of people who's fighting all the pipelines, all the Bakken. Well, actually, their tribes are called Keepers of the Bakken. They're the three affiliated tribes: the Haudenosaunee, the Arikara, and the Hidatsa. They are three tribes forced into a little reservation, and it's called Fort Berthold. And they really are fighting the man camps, fighting the pipelines, fighting everything that they could see from their reservations. They could see they showed us this picture from NASA, and in the dark it looked like North Dakota, the Bakken, looked like it was the whole entire city, like there was a massive city up there, but it's just a little bit of people. They said all those lights were uranium hose and drilling hose and different things they used to dig into the ground, wells, they're all set on fire. Just like in Iraq, the Iraqis are setting their oil on fire. That's what they're doing in the Bakken, setting on fire just so it can burn out. It's too much. And so you look up at NASA and look for the Bakken, it looks like a city, but there's nothing up there. And that they're facing all the truckers crossing their reservations, and it's cracking the roads apart. And they had 48 people killed by the truck drivers. Just killed all kinds of different ways. They have radioactive water, wastewater on their reservations along the sides of the roads.
Nasty.
Truck drivers are just emptying out wastewater on the roads.
Nasty. That is sick.
They have some pretty bad stories that come from the man camps that are bad camps.
That is sick.
And yeah, so we've been working with them closely, and we are going to help them, and those pipelines are going up. We are going to help them.
And we hope too to have a discussion with Adam, who we're staying with tonight, about how we can be in alliance against this proposed pipeline as well.
I guess the second part of my question is, advocates, people to witness what's happening. That's
Yeah, definitely. Of
That's
course.
what happened at Big Mountain. They needed people from our nation, whether it be white or people from the outside, to come in and serve as witnesses what was going on, to be advocates for what was happening.
Yeah, this is water is life. No one can live without water. It is something that we all need. All four colors of the human race. We don't see the human races as different humans: black, white, yellow, red. We see them all as two legs of medicine with four colors of man, and they all need the water. So yeah, we know in the end we need all the help, everyone we can, to stop these snakes. That's what we're told. We've all been tricked by snakes and spiders. You know, everyone's creation stories. Adam and Eve had to eat a snake. They ate an apple and tricked by a snake. The Lakotas were tricked by a spider, and we came out of the Black Hills. See, we're still fighting those. That's how I see it. It's a spiritual war. People outside, off our reservations, don't understand what we go through, which it's a spiritual war. There are people out there who are misusing our ceremonies, and there are a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening to everyone, and we have to correct that. So that's why we have to face a lot. When we come out here, we face you off the reservations. When we go back, we have to face our own people. And not all of them want to support us all the time. Yeah, some of them have jobs. And it's people's mindsets. Colonize minds against the people who've been taught to see through it. That's why I've been taught how to see through the colonization. And yeah, we would like to build coalitions with everybody. Because we all have to be able to keep an eye on this continent somehow. We're not nomads anymore.
Maybe one more question.
Since I'm live streaming this, especially for the viewers, first of all, there is a great success of Burnaby Mountain in Canada, where they won not only the tribes that live in the area, but the people who live around the reserve, as they call the reservation up in Canada. They kicked Kinder Morgan off Burnaby Mountain. So that's, but for, how would you like to use, or would any of you want to incorporate, the independent media to get the word out about what you're doing, to maybe draw people to your cause, to get out the truth of what's going on, and just take a hold of something that maybe your ancestors did not have, but something you can use to get the word out about what you're doing and draw more attention to it, so that you can have more allies in order to win the struggle to win back your land.
Yeah, we started this a couple of years ago. Me and my brother, we've done a lot of actions in our life. We're born in the American Indian movement, so we saw everything, we know everything. One thing we learned is the media. They're not our friends. They don't really care to help us.
That's where the live streamers can come in to do that, because it's not edited, it's not sanitized, it's just put out there raw.
Yeah, so that's when we started making our own videos. We started doing everything ourselves. We're young, we knew how to do it, so we decided to make our own videos, make our own little pages on Facebook, and we just share anything that's happening around us that the bigger media groups won't tell, including our own tribal medias. And it's social media, so we met a lot of people through social networking, and that's how we get our word out, is social media, through Facebook. And our page is called Oyate Media Network. And yeah, it's been going for I think 4 years now.
Cool.
We actually started it because of the occupation in White Clay. One of our aunties passed away of alcoholism, so we thought we should do something about it. And so we started our page. And we kept going, and we ended up fighting pipeline nets.
We have a small circle of different media resources, independent media, as you described, and well, we're welcome. We are welcome to anybody coming to help, as advocates or witnesses through media to be able to project our issues out there to the world. Just so as long as they respect that they are in our territory and respect the culture that we have within our circles to kind of share the media with each other. Because it's kind of like a collaboration. If we could just all share resources.
And here's our page.
Thank you. Yeah, we were just trying to figure out how to spell it.
Yeah, can you spell that for my viewers so that they can check it out?
Media Network, OYATEMEDNET.
And folks that are wanting to be advocates and wanting to go out possibly to the reservation and do some work, I'm working with Connor right now. There's going to be a couple of us non-Lakotas who have been out there for a long time, who are people of color, who kind of understand what it's like to work in a frontline community. I'm hoping to have a couple talks and actually do a workshop on what frontline solidarity work looks like here at Drake, hopefully by the end of April. So.
Great.
And if any of you would like to learn how to live stream, do hit me up. And
I just want to thank everyone for your support. Thank you for coming. Feel free to mingle and have some informal conversations. We have till 9:30, is that right? Until 9:30 to 10. So feel free to move around and meet folks. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for everyone to know, this is the video of me and my brother put together.
hit the light so. Oh, look at that cutie. A bonus video for
Yep.
Nice. A bonus video at the end with a cute kid in the beginning. If any of you would like to learn how to do live streaming, so when you go to do an event, you can broadcast it to the world, I would be more than happy to show you how to do it. I just need a smartphone and the streaming apps like Ustream or Bamboozer. Yes. But or a tablet or an internet camera for live streaming. And if you use Ustream, then you can put the videos up on YouTube. So just thought I'd throw that out there so you can cover your own, be your own media do it live broadcast so that anyone in the world can see it. Yeah, I can't travel by myself because I don't drive. I ride the bus, so that's how I'll be getting home. But I started doing it as part of Occupy Des Moines, and I've been doing it ever since. And so I just want to throw that out there.
Erin didn't say, but I think
We're left with another outfit, which we also try to comment.
I put $1 in their box to help. Let's give them a little bit to go.
Hi.
Hello. To go to Pennsylvania, and as I said, they will be involved in the Bakken pipeline fight, as will I. I don't know when the next action specifically related to the Bakken pipeline will come, but when it does come, and if I can get away there, I will go there and I will cover that. So in the meantime, I'm just going to hang here and maybe pick up conversations. People, she's passing. I'm just going to give a close-up of what these it's not focusing. Dang it.
Oh, they donated that.
Who did?
I don't know. One of these guys.
Yeah, I have more than I need, so I can't tell you who made that one.
Oop, that's for a little wrist. Oop, there's your $1. You don't want to forget that. How much is this ring?
I think he's selling it for $30.
Oh. Unfortunately, I only have 15 on me, so, and I don't have holy ears, so I can't wear that. But that is very, very beautiful beadwork. I'm just giving you a close-up. Yeah, these are earrings. They're the French wire. You can see of course, I can stick it in my hijab. They've put up another video. Beadwork and the silver and turquoise work is something that the First Nations people developed as crafts for their own personal use, and the beads they got in trade for other items that they exported, and then they just adopted the beadwork and developed their patterns, which are similar to their weavings. This is just another video of an action that is being put on here. This is a large demo in this particular video. Again, trying to stop the pipeline or tar sands or uranium mining or something like that. I'm not sure what was in this particular action, but this is a lot of people trying to defend their land.
It doesn't. You saw the
I think your song really made this event. That was so appropriate to do that. That was just dang awesome. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, I got lots of stuff to stream.
Behind you, Peter. Pretty good crowd.
He's
When I shot the naked Steve person, I think about how racist it is.
We captured that flag at a KKK uprising. Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the indigenous people all over. I didn't go personally, but they did. Justin especially. They captured, how many flags? Is it 2 or 3?
3.
Sweet.
They had a KKK uprising out there.
Yeah, we chased them out of the town. They were trying to take over and leave North Dakota. I found out that their chapter leader was actually 14%, so very black.
He was that guy. There was a whole bunch of controversy that, I guess, the recent KKK leader controversy. Him and his son are now in prison for life because they were firing their firearms in their town. I can't remember the name of the town. But I guess it was all over the news and everything. He was on, I think, Maury or something.
Maury Povich.
Yeah, they told him that he was 14% black. But yeah, we went there and captured the flag.
I always heard about it, and I got the urge, like, oh my God, he's amazing this week. I mean, I've never seen it
Next time you see your son, give him an extra hug for all of us. And tell him that he's got a bunch of friends in Des Moines. And I bet he's too cute to be legal. I brag on my great niece, so you brag on your son.
The main organizers for the group is fighting it, but yeah. So
Kaylin.
Yeah. So glad you're live streaming. Except
would love it if
I was
people
like,
would join him
I had
parts of
such a
the time, as
spiritual
long as
block.
they
I
take
was
care of
felt like
themselves.
sent all my memories
be
from everything
responsible.
and like
But if you
where
can
did
join
my
him,
it
yes.
was it's still
I might do that for my birthday this
It was
week or this month.
reservation. I
he'll
can't
be in
come up
Polk
with the
County
name
on
of
the
it right now
16th.
because there's so much information. That's never happened.
I'll join in there.
It would be nice to go to some of the reservations and to see up close what these people are going through.
Let's go be an advocate. I've done it before.
One problem is I can't go by myself because I don't drive. But
I'll be a bodyguard.
well, I would need a driver.
I do that.
I mean, yeah, I could go into a car lot and say, if I buy a car, do I get a driver? No.
Yes. You buy the car because my car's the one piece of shit.
Well, I can't buy a car anyways.
Right.
But anyways.
But
yeah,
do you have my number?
No.
I don't have a card or anything, but I'll write my name down. But anytime we need to, or you need a driver, or you need somebody to take you somewhere to do live streaming, and
if it's outside of Des Moines, then that's what
I'd be happy. I can even write it down for you.
Okay, I'm dinging a.
It's one of those things like it's good and it's bad. You just get kind of depressed, but it's.
I know awareness is depressing. Is this yours?
No,
But
no.
you
The
can have
tablet
a piece
is.
of paper if you want.
There's a pencil here.
I just want to write. How is the best way to give you my number?
Sarah,
Here you go.
keep
Just
in
put it on
contact.
here.
Okay.
Okay, it's KAY.
I'm going to give you my number, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to give it to you, and you say Sarah Spain, driver. I worked with Ed on
the climate march.
Right, so I'm 805. And yours is, and then I'll flip it.
Okay, 515.
And it's KAYLYNN.
Okay.
Okay.
Strain. STRAIN.
And I'm Spain. Spain is strange.
Oh my
Yes.
I love it. Okay. And then your phone number?
That's 515-681-7994.
Okay.
All right, now you got it.
At least last time she checked.
Barbara, sometimes.
I guess as long as they all start.
I want to learn about live streaming. And,
Yeah, I'd be glad to show you or anyone else how to do it.
yeah, it's a very important thing to do. I was thinking, we were talking about all these cops who want to wear
The body cameras.
why don't the people who get pulled over have live streaming immediately?
Exactly.
Like access to live streaming.
Yeah, and that's
Exactly. We need to teach people how to do that.
yeah. I even posted on Facebook a while back. Anyone who wants to learn how to live stream, hit me up. But really haven't had hardly any takers yet. But hopefully someday soon. You're welcome.
Good to see you.
And this is my great niece. This is why I do it.
That is right. I have one of those. I have a niece. How old is she?
Mercedes will be 4 next month on the 13th. And she's expecting a cousin. Yeah, we're kind of excited. More brag pictures. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take my stream down, but before I do, I would like you to please check out my donation sites. Yeah, go to www.gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. Again, www.gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. That's KAYLINN. That accepts the major currencies around the world. If you have a currency other than the major ones like the euro, the various dollars, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar, Australian dollar, British pound. If you don't have access to those currencies, you can go to PayPal, www.paypal.com, and in the send money to line, enter the email address strainsop@aol.com. Again, www.paypal.com, and in the send money to line, enter the email address strainsop@aol.com. That will help me cover the cost of my live streaming and broadcasting, so I can continue to bring these events live and uncut and unedited. And if you cannot donate, do spread the word of my stream and my donation pages around so that others might be able to help me do this, because I eat a big data plan because I don't always have access to good Wi-Fi. But again, tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. Central, there will be a drone protest at the National Guard base at the Des Moines Airport. And so thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the